All right, welcome in. It is Friday. It is time for another episode of Total Bases. We got day baseball today out at Wrigley Field, a great slate of games. The full slate is back. We're going to get to as many as we usually do. Quick housekeeping item. So yesterday, Tokyo Brandon and I both had 5% plays. We were on opposite sides. I got a whole bunch of DMs during the day as to how to handle that. And there's really no right answer. So I thought it was a good way to start the show because listen, as I've said a million times, the three of us, the only time during the day that the three of us talk is literally on this show. And that's sort of how I am with everyone. I mean, you know, people are asking me, well, TV's on the other side. What are you going to do? I mean, Bryan, Leonard, like Jesus Christ could have returned to earth and been like, I'm on the Diamondbacks. And I'm so stubborn that I'm still on the Rockies there because I'm just, I've got a way I do things and it's just nothing is going to matter. And it's like one of those things where it's like, I just don't think there's a right answer. So I answered this question like 6 times yesterday. There's really no right answer. If you're doing this yourself and you buy the plays, listen, not everyone buys plays, in my opinion, and we'll go around the horn on this. Not everyone buys plays just to like blind tail the play. People pay for information. Some people, you know, maybe that someone's a Tokyo Brandon loyalist, has played all of his plays throughout the year, and then they pick up one of mine for a day, or vice versa. So there's no right answer. The way I would do it, because I'm a handicapper, I'm reading what TB has to say. I'm reading what I have to say, and I'm just going to make the best decision possible. Now, kind of was the best result possible last night. Rockies +1.5 as a winner. Tokyo Brandon had Diamondbacks -1, so he pushes. So it was literally the best result we could have asked for in that scenario. But I'll go to you, Bryan, first. If that happens, what do you tell the people?
Yeah, it's a no-win situation. Luckily, it doesn't happen very often because we all think differently, especially TB. Obviously, we've gotten into it on the show a lot of times. He sees things differently. Usually, Adam and I, as a handicapping source, we play more underdogs than TB does. So, you know, it's going to happen. I trade a lot of plays with a lot of my friends here in Vegas and around the country. And a lot of times I will get their analysis and I'll say, well, didn't think of it that way, but I still think there's value on this side. So I run into the same thing every day. I do my own handicapping. And if I'm leaning to one side and somebody has something they really like and it makes a lot of sense, I may put out a small play in that regard or play it myself. But yeah, you're going to run into it anytime. You know, you see it in the NFL all the time because everybody has got plays up in the NFL. And we've got, 33 handicappers on the site. If you're buying more than one, eventually you're going to run into that. So it's just a thing with a bunch of numbers where, you know, eventually it's going to happen. It just so happened on your guys' big play yesterday.
That's Tokyo Brandon. That's why we talk about all the time. Like, I love doing this show so much because usually I haven't played a ton of games prior to this show. A couple weeks ago, I was pretty sure I was going to be on the Mariners. I loved what Bryan had to say about the Royals, and I passed on what would have been a loser. So, you know, just throw something out there on that, and then we'll move on to games.
So, yeah, I mean, there were only 7 games yesterday. So if it's going to happen that we're on opposite sides of the same game, it would be yesterday, but not exactly opposite, because if you bet
Froze up. Basically, he was going to say if you bet both sides, all of them, you would end up a profit. Yeah, the key thing there was it's just 7 games. Like when people put out plays on Monday Night Football, half the people are going to be on one side, half are going to be on the other. But if Brandon's hearing me, he needs to. He's frozen up, and I don't know if he knows that or not.
Well, we'll let TB work out the technical difficulties. I think he's back.
My internet. It's not my internet. It's the software or something. I don't know. Anyways,
well, those loud colors coming from your body.
Yeah, we.
Anyways, if you bet both of us, you won. So
yeah, that is true. That is true. If you bet both of them, you won. And I got to be honest. Game didn't really. I thought it was going to be like a 6-5 game, not a 2-1 game. And really both teams had their chances. Arizona kind of squandered a couple of big opportunities there that they probably could have broken that open at times. It happened just to work out that way. But let's get into. I did, yeah, man. I was real nervous when they decided to leave Blas Castano in for a second inning. I thought you were getting your crooked number there, TB. I was not with that strategy.
I did too. But Diamondbacks, third base with 1 out 3 times, no runs. Yeah.
Hey, the Rockies though were right there too. With I think they got thrown out at home. They squandered. There was a big inning-ending double play. Eduardo Rodriguez ended up being really good yesterday. So again, we'll don't worry. We're not gonna. This little intro did not cost you guys a game. We're still gonna get to 6 games on this show, and we're gonna get to the day game first because Apple TV is giving you the nationally televised game today. Bryan Leonard at 2 p.m. Day baseball, Wrigley Field. The Astros come to town. Looks like Spencer Arrighetti for the visitors and Jameson Taillon for the home team. So Astros Cubs to you. How are you seeing this one?
Yeah, this game is the day game. And keep in mind with the weather today, there's a lot of rain, a lot of wind today, colder temperatures. And you could see that by a lot of the totals on today's games. The highest I'm seeing out there is like 9.5 in the Cincinnati game. And that's a game that could be delayed by the weather. So keep that in mind. Make sure you check as the day goes on. Arrighetti against Taillon. Taillon is about a 135 to 140 favorite with a total of 7. And as I always say, you can always tell which way the wind's blowing in if you just look at the total in the Cubs game. Arrighetti is a guy who has pitched over his head so far this year. He's been very good. He's had control problems in the past. In fact, the service I use expects him to struggle with his control. And the good news is there probably won't be too many home runs in this game because the wind's blowing in. So he may not get caught with a 2 or 3 run homer on what could be other times solo. So that's something to keep in mind. Taillon has struggled this year. Right now, I don't like either one of these teams hitting. Houston's had some guys that, they're better players in the lineup that have gone into a slump, and the Cubs right now have not been doing very well. I prefer the under here. I sure wish it was a 7.5. There is a couple out there, but you're laying hefty juice, 45, something to that. But I prefer the under here. But that wind blowing in is it has more effect in this stadium than any other one in the country. Just the opposite of San Francisco. In fact, San Francisco, the wind is blowing out, and the total in that game is 7. So it tells you how the winds are in San Francisco. But yeah, it's I don't like the offenses the way they're playing right now. Arrighetti, for some reason, has been doing really well right now. And so, yeah, I think the under is the way to go, but there may be better games to see than betting a total under 7 in a game in baseball today.
TB, how about you, Astros Cubs?
I'll make it pretty quick because, again, I have conflicting data here, so I'm not going to bet this game. But Arrighetti, I've got him ranked very, very mediocre. But you look at him, he's 5-1 with a 1.5 ERA. That's crazy. He doesn't have good numbers against these Cubs in his history, and Taillon has horrible numbers against the Astros in his history, but he has the better team backing him. Everything's conflicting here. It's a big quagmire of data, so there's no way I can bet this game. The pitchers should get hammered by these batters, but the batters are all in poor form, and the bad pitcher has really good numbers. Everything's whacked out here. I'm not playing it.
So yeah, it's definitely a tricky game. I've always kind of been, I've been more pro Spencer Arrighetti, like since, during his time in the minors, since he's been called up. I think he has very good strikeout stuff at times. He's good at generating swing and miss. It hasn't been as good as it was. Well, I think that's a ridiculous thing to say. Of course, it hasn't been as good as it was in the minors. The players are a lot better at this level. I guess what I'm trying to say there is it didn't fully translate as much. Like he's not getting that kind of whiff rate at the big league level, but the flashes are there. something I find pretty interesting about the wind blowing in on like a guy like Jameson Taillon, who clearly is a veteran. He's a solid pitcher. My only issue with Taillon is he gives up some absolute laser beams. This guy gives up some absolute rockets. Like, I don't have, I should have pulled it up. Like, I don't have his hard hit percentage in front of me. And I don't even know if it's that bad offhand. But, like, it does seem like when he gives up hits, they're loud, like, very loud. They're maybe either home runs, they're line drives, doubles, so on and so forth. Kind of think the wind blowing in maybe helps him more than Arrighetti. Because it's like, you give up one of those 110 off the bat that's going to head for the seat. Suddenly the wind's blowing in and now it's an out. Might help Taillon just a little bit more. But that is really what I'm grasping for in this game, Brian. This one's pretty even to me. I don't have much here.
Yeah, I will point out that other than Garrett Cole, obviously, who hasn't pitched in the majors in a long time, everybody else is on a 5 or a 6 game rest. Arrighetti's on 7. Sometimes, as Brandon has pointed out, that guys get into a little bit of a routine. And he threw 102 pitches last time out. That's not something you see a lot out of him. You can even look at the Dodgers game today. Wroblewski threw 103 pitches last time out. That doesn't happen very often. And so when guys really go over their normal amount of pitches that they throw, it's kind of a fade situation for me. But it's just one more thing to put into the mix of how you handicap a game. You can't go just on one thing. You just put everything together and mix it all up and come out with a winner, hopefully.
Yeah, we talked, you brought up the total being quite low. Yesterday we talked about Spencer Strider for a minute. TB brought up his command issues, and that game ended up going over easily. We had pointed out it was 7.5 was over. There was 8 runs scored pretty early, I believe. Maybe 11 or 12 ended up being the total in that game. Arrighetti's Strider was pretty good, but the point is, like, the Marlins still contributed enough, right? You talk about a total of 7.5. I think they got 3 runs. Arrighetti, last 3 games, 4 walks, 3 walks, 5 walks, and then prior to that, 4 and 4. He's put a lot of guys on, a lot of free passes. I think I lean the Cubs. I just to get you guys, because I know if we don't give something out, people are going to be like, why'd you even talk about that game? Well, the whole country is getting it at 2 p.m., so we got to talk about it. So I will give you a lean. I lean toward the Cubs. I think the Cubs find a way.
I do too, because the Cubs bullpen is ranked 12 in current form and the Astros is ranked 24th in current form. So just on that is enough for me to lean one way. Yeah.
Yeah, we could go into Cubs are a better team. Jordan might end up on a different team by August. I wouldn't be that surprised if the Astros are like have to sell. I don't think this Astros team is very good. TB, you're getting Russell Dex giving you a compliment. He said TB's pitcher walks props were amazing last year.
Yeah.
I know they're hard to get down on, so we don't maybe give them out as much anymore, but just shout out to you right there. Always cashing the walks props.
Haven't been doing them as much this year because they're not as widely available, and I have more subscribers this year, so I want to please everyone, kind of.
Roy Wolf says no afternoon ball. That Cubs game is in the afternoon. That's a 2 p.m. game. That's why we kicked the show off with that game. It's also on Apple TV, so the whole country is getting that one. But we're going to head to a different game. Thomas Fesnella says Garrett Cole going tonight. Yeah, finally back in the big leagues. His tour of the Yankees affiliates is over. For the last month, the Yankees have had him bouncing around to pitch at the home ballpark of like literally every minor league affiliate. He was in Fishkill. He was at Somerset, Scranton. I literally think he pitched at every level of minor league ball, and they had him pitch at home. Just the Yankees just doing what they can to sell tickets, get people in the seats. Tonight he gets to do it for real at Yankee Stadium against maybe the hottest team in Major League Baseball. So I'll start with you, Brian. Rays heading to the Bronx. They face the Yankees. How are you seeing this one?
Yeah, it should be a really interesting game here. We got Nick Martinez, who is having a hell of a season for Tampa Bay right now. We've talked about in the past how Tampa Bay gets the best out of these pitchers when they bring them in. Yeah, Garrett Cole going for the Yankees, and Cole's about a 150 favorite here with a total of 8. I I normally, when a guy comes back like this, I tend to want to fade him. And you're going up against a team in Tampa Bay that's obviously the luckiest team in baseball right now because they keep winning these close games, and we keep waiting for the shoe to fall. It's not falling. Are the Yankees the better team overall? Yeah. But do I want to bet the Yankees here? I'll say no, because Tampa Bay's finding ways to win. Nick Martinez is doing his best, and Garrett Cole's a guy right now that I just want to sit back and watch a little bit. From a bullpen standpoint, the Yankees are in pretty good shape here. Bednar and Cruz have not pitched in the last 3 days, and Tim Hill has gone the last 2 days without it. So they're going to be all ready, and that's always a good thing to happen here. But you look at Tampa Bay from a bullpen perspective. Yesterday, nobody pitches, obviously, and then on Wednesday, they only had to use Seymour for 9 pitches, as they had Jesse Scholtens come in a bullpen game and give them 60. So both teams' bullpens are in pretty good shape here. If there is one concern for Tampa, and that is Yandy Diaz, who is the hottest hitter in baseball the last week, number one, but he got hurt yesterday. I guess he got hit. He got hit by a pitch, and both of his hands got hit. So he didn't play yesterday, so he's expected to be back today. Keep that in mind. He's one of the better hitters in baseball. I've got him ranked 30th on the season for Major League Baseball hitters. He doesn't hit as many home runs because he hits more line drives, but I want him in the lineup. If I'm going to play Tampa Bay, I need him in the lineup here. So as of right now, Nick Martinez is the 36th best pitcher in baseball on the season. He's been better than Drew Rasmussen, better than Shane McClanahan. He's in the long run, he's not as good as those guys are, but right now he's pitched very well this season. So I'm leaning with Tampa, but I do want to make sure that they're going to have their first baseman back tonight.
Yeah, TB, I'm just going to answer this chat question, and then I'll kick it to you. The Tribe 4865 says, how much stock do you put in Cole having bad numbers at AAA? In this instance, almost none. And I will explain why. I think the Yankee, I think Garrett Cole probably felt like he was ready to pitch like 3 weeks ago. I think the Yankees had a drawn out sort of plan for his rehab. So he made his first rehab appearance on April 17th. That's over a month ago. Okay. It's different for everyone. Justin Verlander's just like, F it, put me in a big league game. I'm not doing the minor league shit. Like, I'm good. I know my body. Put me in the game. Okay. Garrett Cole may have said the same thing, and the Yankees may have been like, no, you're actually going to do this, and this. So the only one he pitched at AAA, I think you can kind of tell if you watch enough minor league baseball, it's very similar to NFL preseason when it comes to rehab for pitchers, where you can tell what the dress rehearsal is. When he's down pitching in Fishkill for the Hudson Valley Renegades, that's more like, hey, get some feel back. I'm not really worried about, I'm just trying to throw some strikes. I'm just getting out there, work up a sweat, right? Whatever. His only outing at AAA was the last time out, the clear dress rehearsal, 5 1/3, gives up 1 run, strikes out 6 guys, walks 1. He looked fine. So I wouldn't put any stock into that. TB, you were around the farm systems of baseball teams for years. Do you have anything to add to that question? And how are you seeing Yankees race?
I was mostly around high school, Japanese high school and Japanese farm systems. But yeah, sometimes these guys in the minors, they're just trying to work out their stuff. You know, they're not really trying to put numbers up. They're trying to work out the kinks, or they're trying to develop a new pitch to see if it'll work or not. So I don't put a lot of stock in minor league numbers. But you're a better guy to answer that question than me. But generally, yeah, that's how I see it.
I will say that I go to spring training all the time, and people tend to overreact in spring training, just like everybody does, because everybody wants stats. They want to see it. A lot of times a pitcher will go out, and like TB says, they're working on a new pitch, or last time they pitched their curveball or the slider wasn't doing well, so they're saying, okay, in the first inning, I'm going to throw nothing but sliders. So you have to take a look at it and step back and say, what were they trying to accomplish? As you mentioned, he's been there before. I'm not too concerned with that. It's just that, everybody expects peak Garrett Cole when he's up back in the majors, and peak Garrett Cole's been a few years away. So,
well, TB, I'm going to go back to you for this to just break down this game. I mean, Garrett Cole's the type of guy that can go out there and literally just go 70%. Like he's like these veteran guys, they can go out and be at 60% and then be in the Bronx on a Friday night and be at 100%. So, Yankees Rays. Do you have a pick in this one?
I'm going to disagree with Bryan. I think the Rays are a better team than the Yankees, actually, the way they're playing right now. They don't have the Yankees have probably the best hitter in baseball. I think just as a pure hitter, Judge might be a better pure hitter than Ohtani. That's debatable. But I think overall as a team, the Rays are a better team. I think their bullpen doesn't have the talent that the Yankees have, but they have more depth. And they don't have the names in their lineup, but they're playing really well as a team. It was kind of interesting. I was looking at a line the other day. The Rays have less home runs than almost every team they go against, but they have less home runs, but they have more runs, which tells you that they're really playing good small ball. They got a bunch of Ichiros on their team going small ball, but I could be wrong. They could pewter out, like we said on a show previous, and they could start pewtering out and start losing. Who knows? But to me, they look like a machine out there. I'm not going to back Nick Martinez. He's not a strikeout guy, and you got to be a strikeout guy if you want to get these Yankee batters out. He's not a strikeout guy. As a matter of fact, his strikeout prop is 4.5, and I would be tempted to go under on that because I'm projecting him under 4. So that might be a way to go. I don't want to back the Rays on the side either. Sorry, but I think they're probably a better team, but on the road, Yankees. Yeah, I'm not going to do a side.
I like the Yankees, but once again, I just think that the books are I wish I was getting a better price. I thought with how well the Rays have played that I'd get a little bit more playable than minus 150 here on the Yankees. 2 quick questions I'm going to answer before we move on. It's all about the command. Did Cole have command of his pitches in the minors? Yes, in his most recent outing. His command was very good at AAA. The only one that matters, really, in my opinion. The second question, how long is he going to go? This will be his normal start. I don't think he's on any sort of pitch count. The dude has been building back up for this start for over 30 days. He will have whatever his normal allotment of pitches are tonight. He went 5 1/3 in his last minor league start. If he can go 7, he'll go 7. He's probably going to throw his 100 pitches just like anyone else would. So I don't think you have to worry about a pitch count here for Cole.
If I could bet the Yankees over under errors, I'd take the over every game, especially with Volpe out there.
Yeah. I told you I liked errors in that Mets Nationals game yesterday. I think there was 3 in the game, and there probably could have been 5. They're just was one of the worst.
It's like
it was a really bad series. All right, let's move it along. We
standardize the errors, by the way, because every home team, if the guy at home is doing it, it's like everything's a hit when the home team. No, that's an error. It's like they're charged in a block foul in the NBA.
We'll move it along here. Again, the double play package. I haven't put a play out yet today, but I've got a couple that I have my eye on for today. So I will absolutely have something up. I'm sure the other boys will as well. Either any of the combination of the two of us on the screen at a discounted rate up on our pages. We also have some really good long-term packages for all access. Bryan's still plugging away at the NBA and NHL playoffs. So all access is a great deal right there. Okay, we'll go to this one. Mark Lambert says Pirates plus 140. Best money line value on the board today. I'll just go right to Bryan Leonard. Do you agree or disagree?
I kind of disagree because I'm not a big fan of Bubba Chandler's pitching this year. Is he turned into a quad A pitcher? Is that what we're getting right now? We've heard so much about him in the past and how great he was. he hasn't done it in the majors yet. Kevin Gausman's a guy. The only reason I would not want to go, didn't Toronto just play at that big series against the Yankees? So now they're playing a team in the other league. Has to be a little bit of a letdown, but Gausman's been great all season long. He's been very good. And the Pirates, every time I think they're gonna fade, they come out and play a little bit better. So I actually think Toronto's the side I want. I don't know if I want to lay that number, but I may, play a Toronto team total over, because you're looking at the total of 8 in this game with a line of about 160. So maybe Toronto team total over. Let me do a quick look here. You can get them to score 5 runs at plus 110, 120. So that's not a bad thing here, because I really don't like the way Bubba Chandler's pitching, and that would be the way I would look at it.
TB, got to be a chronic walker right here for you, Bubba Chandler. He can't throw a strike.
Absolutely is. Yeah. Yeah, sorry to cut you off there. Like Adam said, double play is a 3-day package. You can pick 2 of us 3. And it's a huge discount. Or if you just like one guy, you can get any capper at WagerTalk for 3 days, 30% off. So that's a good deal. And also long-term packages as well. So back us. If you like our opinions and stuff, back us and see it. And if you hate us, buy our stuff and fade us. So anyways, so yeah, he is a chronic walker, and he doesn't rate very high at all. Gausman doesn't have really convincing stats against the batters he's facing today. The Blue Jays are playing better than the Pirates at almost everything, especially bullpen wise, except the hitting. The Pirates still are hitting better, and the Blue Jays, like I said, I'm not really superstitious, and I'm not really like what's the word? Situational better, but there is one that I believe in, and coming home from a series with no rest is definitely a flat spot. So if you think Gausman can hold the Pirates down, I don't think the Jays are going to score a lot. So an under might be the way to go here. If that Pirate bullpen can keep it together, that might be how I would go in this one. I do have 2 plays up already today in the MLB, by the way.
But Bubba Chandler is like, we see this happen in Major League Baseball, where the dude throws 100, right? Throws 99, 100. Obviously, you gotta love that. Like when you're evaluating prospects and these guys are cruising through the minors, guys out there throwing gas, throwing 99, 100 miles an hour. That's going to get everyone excited. You're going to get excited about that. The problem is you can go through the minors and do it. You even at AAA, if you pump in 100 and you could just pump in 100, 99, 100, you're going to have a pretty good career at AAA. When you get to the big leagues, we've seen this all over the place, right? Jack Leiter struggled it when he got called up. Ryan Nelson's had issues. Brandon Pfaadt, like the list will go on. If you just throw 100 and you cannot throw a competitive second pitch, or even worse, you can't throw it for a strike, which is what Bubba Chandler is running into, right? Well, now he can't throw anything for a strike. Now he can't even throw the fastball for a strike. You're not going to have success at the big league level. It is the reason that he's not having success at the big league level. I got stuck betting him last. I like the Pirates over the weekend. I tried him against the Phillies. He got crushed, 4 walks. He's now thrown in his last 4 starts. He has thrown 18 innings, and he has walked 15 batters. Like you just cannot do that in the majors and expect to win games. Can't do it. I'll go back to what I've said the last 2 days about the Blue Jays. I told you I wanted to buy the Blue Jays going forward on Wednesday. Since then, they beat the Yankees twice as an underdog. I'm not in love with this price here, but it would be Blue Jays or pass for me. Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, I just wanted to point out regarding the information that I use for bullpens. Right now, Milwaukee's the best bullpen in baseball the last month, and Toronto's second best. Take a look at the teams down at the bottom. The Cincinnati Reds, the Houston Astros, the Pittsburgh Pirates, the Angels, the Twins, the Orioles, and the Royals. So all those teams we know are bad bullpens. Right now, Pittsburgh's bullpen has not been very good. And so there's a big advantage right now the way teams are playing for the Toronto bullpen. And I already like their starting pitcher advantage. So there's a reason why that line is so high. And I think it's I think it's deserving.
Let me just
Bryan.
second that, Brian.
Yeah.
I have the Red Sox and the Brewers top 2 bullpens right now in current form. So that backs up what Brian said.
Thomas says Toronto is an awesome city to visit. He said, I know Mr. Leonard has definitely been there. Yeah, Bryan was just there. Bryan was just there like the other day.
Yeah, a lot of fun, but traffic is terrible.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
Any big
I gotta
city,
say-
come to Tokyo.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure it's nothing. Tokyo's
horrible.
got. I will get there one day. TV.
I want to go.
Okay.
I really want to go again.
Just don't.
I
drive.
watched like an hour documentary like a couple weeks ago on just like the food in Tokyo and how it's just like the stuff they throw out like that's like doesn't meet their quality is like what we consider like great quality in the US.
Yeah.
That was what I
If
took
there's
away.
a-
That's what I took
if
away
there's a-
from that
If there's a
documentary.
scratch on an orange peel, they'll throw the
Yeah.
orange away. It's like
So
what?
and hey, it's pretty good baseball out there as well. I gotta say that Bryan, I'm gonna put you on the spot here for your parlay leg, but I gotta say, like, people are in the chat on a daily basis saying like the parlay gets killed. There's no way the parlay is ahead for the year. And it's like I recap it every single day on the show, and I tell you where it's at like every single day on the show. So actually, the haters, guys, are right now. We are now, as of yesterday, down 1.4 units on the parlay. But as you guys know, we're firing 3-teamers. Most of them are going to hit for like 4, 5, 6 to 1. So it only takes one, and then we're right back in the plus. So I want to silence the haters today, Bryan. We need to hit a 3-teamer today, and we're going to ask you to kick it off. Where are you going to go with the parlay league?
I'm going to go. I guess it's going to be the last game on the board. We're going to San Francisco, the Chicago White Sox against the San Francisco Giants. Here we've got Martin, who has been fantastic all season long for the White Sox. He continues to impress. And we've got McDonald, who came up from the minors for San Francisco, and he's done nothing but good since he's been back. We're getting in a line of the White Sox, a slight favorite, about a 110 favorite here. So basically a pick 'em with a total of 7. And I mentioned earlier about the wind blowing out in San Francisco, and the line is still 7. This is a team of San Francisco that is not hitting. I don't like their hitters on this team. The White Sox playing in this ballpark is something that it's going to take them. There may be some errors here. I hate to say it, but there may be some errors here because although they come from the Windy City, it's a different kind of win in San Francisco in this ballpark. But I like both the starting pitchers. I think the bullpens are improving, especially from the Chicago White Sox standpoint. And they've got, you take a look at the White Sox over their bullpen available for tonight. Let's take a quick look at that. Obviously, the closer is Sir Anthony Dominguez. He has not been great, but he's got like 10 or 11 saves already, and he hasn't pitched in 4 days. So they'll find a way to get him in the game tonight. Grant Taylor, they've been putting back. He started a few games as the starter, the opener. I like him better in the back of the bullpen. He's lights out. He's the best pitcher in this bullpen. And Bryan Hudson came over from Milwaukee and some other teams that he's played for. I've always liked Bryan Hudson, and he's gotten off to a great start so far this season. So I like the bullpens for both these teams coming into this one. The Giants bullpen, they've had to deal with a lot of injuries on the season, but they all should be in pretty good shape here. Didn't play yesterday. None of the really key guys pitched the day before. So, yeah, I see another low-scoring game here, and we'll go for the under in the White Sox in San Francisco. You're looking at maybe minus 105 for the under. You can get them at even money at some places, but let's go minus 105.
TB, this is your guy, Davis Martin. You brought him up, and he has been lights out since you first brought him up on the show. I think I even made a comment late last year at one point. I was like, this guy's not really a big leaguer. Like, I was just like out on him. I thought he was more of a 4A guy that would end up back at Charlotte. I thought he was Jonathan Cannon, right? That's basically what Jonathan Cannon's been. He's just chilling at AAA. He's probably a AAA pitcher. Davis Martin looks like you watch him pitch, like this suddenly looks like a big league guy. And I feel like you were ahead of the curve on that. So shout out to you. Are you on him tonight in any capacity?
Well, I was going to make the White Sox my parlay leg, but we're not going to do the same game. So, I like the White Sox here. By the way, people are asking about if I like DeGrom strikeouts and whatnot. I already put my strikeout projections and my outs projections on my Twitter handle down there, Tokyo Brandon. So go check those out. I put them up almost every day for free. So check those out if you want to bet strikeout and outs props. So I like the White Sox here. I'll just make it short and simple. But I would agree with Bryan on an under. I made a video for WagerTalk's YouTube channel, and I said first 5 innings under 3.5. And I know 3.5 is a pretty precarious number, but I like the under in the first 5. So I'm totally along Bryan's lines there. And shout out to Bryan for making the show today. He was headbanging last night till 11 midnight last night, and he's making the show. He sent me a video too.
Didn't go to bed till 1 a.m.
I got the video. Thank you.
Yeah, shout out to Bryan for making the show every day. He does the show at 6 a.m. every single day. I've said it before. Like, I would not be able to do, I don't think I'd be able to do this show 6 days a week, all season long, every single day, starting at 6 a.m.
And he was banging his head till 1 a.m. last night.
Yeah. So shout out to and for TB. I have like this show happens at the perfect time for me. 9 a.m. Eastern is the perfect time. TB stays up late to do this show out in Tokyo. Bryan gets up super early to do this show every single day. Rarely or ever miss a day. Certainly, I don't think that either of you have ever missed a day because of the time it started. So it's like, we all have things come up. But yeah, so shout out to you guys, because I know it's much harder for you to make the show. This just fits nicely into my day. 9 a.m. It's great. When I do the basketball show with Vino, it's at 10. I have it easy in that regard. So, Bryan, what was the the only thing I'll add to this game before we go on to the next game, I agree with both of you. TB, if he didn't take this game, I might have been on White Sox in the parlay here as well. Man, there was just something about there was a point in time, because I'm a pessimistic guy sometimes, TB, where I thought you might get Kettle Marte in a deja vu moment, and he would have walked it off and ruined my plus 1.5 last night. But like when he did that on Wednesday to the Giants, like, did that just end the Giants season officially? Like, you just look like it was. I've never seen a team more dejected in my life. Like that team's got some issues, and I don't know. I don't know how they get off the mat at this point. Like this might just be a bad year for the Giants. College coach not really working out. Bryan, what was the juice again on your total?
Yeah, San Francisco's problem is their veteran guys they're counted on have not played well this year.
Yeah.
We're looking at under 7 at -105.
Under 7, -105 will be the first leg of the parlay. And do what you will with the fact that TB and I both like the White Sox. I have a very short list for today, and that is one of the White Sox -110 was one of the games on the short list. B Young, TB, I'm going to you, but B Young says parlay ended up in the positive last year. I believe, yeah, it did. We were up about 5 units on the parlay last year. And hopefully, last I checked, it's May 22nd. We're doing this till October, through October almost, with the playoffs. So I have a feeling we're going to end up in the plus this year again. That's just what my gut says. But we need to know where you're going for the parlay, TB, so the floor is yours.
Okay, it's a game we haven't covered. Again, my strikeouts and my outs props are all on my Twitter X, so take a look at Tokyo_Brandon and check those out. Double play, 2 of us for 3 days, total discount. Or if you only like one of us, 3 days, 30% off. This game, I'm going to go to the Cardinals and Reds game. I like the Cardinals here. I'm going to fade Paddock here because although he's actually not walking people, but he's got horrible numbers. So that tells me that people are getting a lot of contact on him. Leahy, I don't know if I want to really trust him because I don't have him ranked too much higher than Paddock, but he's been playing a little bit better. His numbers against the Reds scare me a little bit, but the better bullpen, the better pitcher, I'm just going to fade Paddock here. So I'm going to take St. Louis on the money line for my parlay leg. I think I don't know what it is. I don't know what the line is. What do you got, Brian?
Yeah, right now we're looking at Paddock is about a 115 to 120 favorite. So you're getting plus 105 back basically with St. Louis.
Okay. That'll be my leg.
Chris Paddock, unlimited opportunities for this guy. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Well,
he's got pictures of someone's wife.
He's been on so many teams. He's got pictures of the commissioner, right? It's got to be.
Were you surprised to see him favored here?
No, because St. Louis, Leahy, I like him better than what a lot of people do, but he's not been overly impressive on the season. Cincinnati is considered to be the better team coming into the season. Obviously, Cincinnati was a team that you were expected to win, 82, 83 games, and St. Louis was a team 65. I think people are just getting a little bit slow on catching up with St. Louis in here. So we'll continue to try to bet them and when the time is right.
Cardinals are 15-8. 15-8 on the road.
Yeah.
Jeez.
They've just played really good ball this year. Like it's really hard to poke holes in like what the Cardinals have done to this point. I'm not saying that there's not like places that they can regress, but like it's like I relative to where they were supposed to be, Brian, and we'll wrap this game up and move on to mine. But like relative to where they were supposed to be, I have like no notes. Like they have played great ball. Everyone is playing either at or above their potential for the most part. And Ollie Marmol's got like they're buying in the clubhouse. They're doing fun stuff. He invited the kids with their shirts off into the clubhouse. Everyone was loving it. This is Cardinals have had the last couple of years. Fans weren't even going to the ballpark. Like they weren't even able to fill Busch Stadium. Now everyone's back buying in. I've loved what I've seen out of them so far.
Yeah, they've got new bars ready to come back, and then there's two other minor league outfielders that they're getting ready to bring up, and they really got no place to put them. But yeah, St. Louis is on a team with they've gotten rid of all the veterans. They've got a lot of good young players. Young people don't give up. As the season goes on, they continue to. They finally made the major leagues. This is big for them. Whereas I just talked about San Francisco with some of their guys. That's a team that could fade fast.
Jimmy Underwood, that's the tarps off movement that started in St. Louis over the weekend. I believe it was the Stephen F. Austin club baseball team was at the game, got their whole group in right field, waving the T-shirts around, and the Cards rallied and won. And like Marmol was so happy, invited them all in to like meet the players and stuff like that. It was a very cool moment.
Yeah,
in my
Detroit
opinion.
Last night too. Everybody's picking it up on it now.
Now everyone's doing
it. You don't want to see me doing that. I'll tell you. If I'm taking my shirt off,
Yeah.
I want to make sure I'm standing behind a guy bigger than me.
So that'll be Cardinals plus 105 for TV in the parlay. I don't disagree. Certainly think that's definitely some value right there. Mike Scott says any team totals. I was just going to try to throw. Well, I'll throw real quick. This isn't going to be my parlay league, but like, I think I kind of joke. Like I was waiting for TB to put me out of my misery with the crooked number in that D-backs Rockies game last night. Diamondbacks are going to score tonight. We don't have time to go into like that game specifically. I'm going to do my parlay, but that's just very quick bonus from Trig. I think the D-backs are going to get their runs tonight because they were real close last night, hit into a couple double plays. Shout out to Zach Agnos, who went like 5 innings, was on cruise control. The best they could ever imagine from him. Like,
can't believe it.
I think they thought, hey, maybe we'll get 4. It was so effortless for him that they left him out there for 5. Probably a big reason that the Rockies were able to cover that 1.5. Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah.
I just want to throw this out. It says I'm staring at the line service, which is awesome. oddslogic.com. Myers was supposed to have been the starter, the opener exactly, and they just dropped that. So I don't know if they're going to have an opener for Meyer or what they're going to do. But keep that in mind. If you've already bet that one, you had the pitchers listed, you may want to go back and have to bet it again.
I'll have to double check, but I'm pretty sure they didn't. They scratched Jonah Tong a couple days ago. I almost wonder if he's getting the call Because I mean,
Yeah.
it fits with what the Mets are doing at this point. Like they're just like, hey, any young guy with potential, come on down. Let's see. Let's see what you can do right now. So, but yeah, Jonah Tong did not make his big league or minor league start. I think he was supposed to start on Wednesday. So you could see him pop up, which would be interesting. Like I don't even know exactly what I would do with that. I am gonna go. So let's close this parlay down. We'll talk. I know someone wanted to talk about DeGrom. So Mike Scott, I hope I answered your question. If I had to do a team total, it would be that Diamondbacks team total over. The game I want to look at for the parlay is going to be Rangers Angels. I feel like you guys might disagree with me here. I know I've said a couple times that this Angels team is bad, but I kind of like them getting the 1.5 tonight, the +1.5. Grayson Rodriguez was throwing like 99 in his rehab. I just, again, like I know the Angels are not great at times, but the Rangers to me have been a very average baseball team, as referenced by their very average record of 24-25. DeGrom tends to, like, this is the kind of game where he goes 5 innings and doesn't give a shit, in my opinion. Like, he's had a couple big starts lately. Let's just look at his last 4 starts real quick. 6 innings against the Yankees, 6 1/3 against the Yankees. Goes 7 scoreless against the Cubs, 10 strikeouts, and then 6 on the road at Houston in what was, I believe, a national TV game. Now he has to go out, play the Angels. This feels like DeGrom going through the motions. And Grayson Rodriguez was terrible in his return to the big leagues against the Dodgers. He got lit up. But again, he was throwing hard in his rehab outings. I kind of think he's going to be fine. I think there's value on the 1.5. So I'm going to take Angels +1.5. Bryan, we'll go to you, and then we'll let TB finish it up.
Yeah, I've got nothing on this game, but Bryce Elder is now the starting pitcher for Atlanta tonight. And the game we just talked about that we like so much on the unders, the White Sox in San Francisco, it was just 7 to the under. Now it's 7.5. So you can get a 7.5 -110, -115 out there, which is obviously better than the 7 and -105.
Well, that, I mean, we didn't lock in the parlay until literally 1 second ago when I said Angels, so we'll be using 7.5 -110.
Good.
Yeah. TB, someone asked you a question about DeGrom. This is probably a good spot to address it if you want.
Yeah. Numbers are not extremely, convincing against this team. I'm going to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, though. You were asking about team total, and now if you're going to ask me about my opinion on this game,
yeah.
I think the Rangers over 4.5 would be a good bet. So I'm kind of going against Adam, but Rangers are hitting pretty well right now, and this Angels bullpen is so bad. I mean, the A's couldn't score on them last night, admittedly, but that game went into extra innings, and I think the Angels bullpen is a little spent. So I think the Rangers over 4.5 would be a good bet here. Why are you laughing?
I can't believe I missed. Well, I'm going back to Bryan because I had such a good segue to kick it to Bryan, and I forgot about it. The Rangers just left Coors Field, and it's an angle that you've picked up on a little bit. The Rangers left Coors Field. Now they head to Anaheim. Do you think they have the altitude hangover here at all?
The Rangers and Anaheim's a pretty good hitting ballpark. But yeah, if you're looking for totals, we're looking at 7.5 and 8. So if you can get that 1.5 for the Angels at a decent price when you got a lower scoring game, that's something you always want to take a look at. And I think it worked out for you with your Colorado yesterday. So yeah, it's keep in mind when you're looking at those numbers, if it's a lower scoring game, every run means so much more. And like I said, today with the wind blowing in a lot of these places, we're not seeing a lot of higher totals. So yeah, it's something to keep an eye on tonight if you like to bet the 1.5.
There is a guy that argues with me every single, not even argues, I don't even respond anymore. Every single day he comes to my Twitter and tells me that you can't bet +1.5. It's a terrible bet. And I'm just sick of responding at this point. That's everything is situational, okay? There is no thing that says only bet the money line, only bet the run line. Everything is relative to price and the situation. And for me, if you are going to bet what you like these bottom teams, there's typically more value in the +1.5 than the money line. These bottom teams, look at the Rockies last night. Arizona, they found a way. They found a way to win the game. Rockies plus 1.5 cashes. These bad teams in Major League Baseball lose close games. That's often the difference between some of the worst teams in the league and the teams that go 82-80. Bad teams that have bad bullpens lose close games. The Angels are a bad team this year. They're going to lose a lot of games, but they're probably going to lose some close games. Like, that's what bad teams do. That's why I want the plus 1.5. And I think you're getting a decent price to do it. Brian, what am I looking at for a price right here?
Okay, what game are we looking at now?
This just the Angels. What's that plus 1.5 money line? Or what's the juice on that?
Okay. You're getting them at basically minus 123.
We'll call it minus 125. And and I'll just go to the chat real quick. Yeah, like 20 years ago, the sharp bettors were making a killing betting plus 1.5. And the problem is the books have really figured out how to price them in a lot of these situations. You used to get plus 1.5 at better prices oftentimes. Now the books know where to sort of juice it, know what point to vig it up to, if you will. So you really do have to target, if you want good plus 1.5 options, a lot of times it's going to be like the lesser teams in the league, kind of like the Angels. Brian, go ahead.
Yeah, I know we're running late. I just wanted to point out that if you're a team, all you want to do is win the game. You get a runner on second base in the last inning, and you're up by 2 runs. They don't care about that guy. So they're going to let that guy score. And that's going to cost you your bet. That's why I don't play the 1.5s unless I expect it to be a complete blowout. Plus 1.5 is so much easier to bet, and you're going to win more money doing it.
So I wonder if they're laughing. Someone said 20 years ago, I think they're laughing at me. Your boy's going to be 40 in a month. So I've been doing this since I was 18. So I'm going on 22 years.
Longer than you've been born.
I know, been born, I know.
Yeah.
But I think people think I'm like in my 20s. I've gotten that before. I look like a little kid, but I'm getting up there. I'll be 40 on July 2nd. I don't know. I feel like people don't know that. But anyway. TB, hit us with a promo and we'll get out of here. I know we're running a little long today.
Double play. You can get 2 of us for 3 days. Huge discount. Or if you only like one capper, you can get any WagerTalk capper 3 days, 30% off. And we have season-long promos as well. Go to wagertalk.com. And we do have a free play page that you can go and see what's up for free as well.
Yeah, this is why I've been popping pills all show. My trainer said that I need to be taking my supplements in the morning, or not like at 2 in the afternoon.
Taking
So that's why
supplements is 40 years old.
Now,
temperature in Tokyo
gym,
right now
Brian.
is about 70 degrees. Someone's asking.
Anyway, listen, we have the Saturday show, special time, 10 a.m. right before last call. Come listen to us talk about bases and then hang around for the last call crew tomorrow. We'll see you at 10 o'clock. That's your show for today. On the way out, the parlay, which is down 1.4 units on the year, just so we're clear about that. But it's going to be ahead after we win today. Tokyo Braden's going Cardinals plus 105. I'm going to go with the Angels plus 1.5, minus 125. And Bryan is going White Sox Giants under 7.5, minus 110, all full game sides, and then a total. That's your 3-teamer for today. The 3 of us will see you 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. Have a great Friday, everyone.